So long. Democrats just betrayed Pelosi in the worst way, and her response is ridiculous. Democrats are finally wising up to their leadership failures in the wake of Jon Ossoff's epic loss to Karen Handel during Georgia's 6th Congressional District special election, and it looks like Nancy Pelosi is taking the heat. Representative Tim Ryan left a Democratic caucus meeting on Wednesday saying, "We'd better take a good, long, strong look in the mirror and realize that the problem is us. It's the party." No kidding. Looks like after dumping tens of millions of dollars into the failed Ossoff campaign, who says leftists want to keep money out of politics? The Democrats are doing some soul searching. Representative Seth Moulton concurred with Representative Ryan. "We need to have a plan. We need to have a vision." No, really? We need to tell Americans why Democrats will be better, not just why Trump is bad. And I don't think we're doing enough of that, and I think that's evident in this Georgia race. Considering Ossoff was initially running under the slogan, "Make Trump Furious," I tend to agree. Ossoff was hammered hard in debates and advertisements about his connections to Nancy Pelosi, a decidedly unlikable character who, for some reason, is still House Minority Speaker. Check out this clip of Karen Handel crushing Jon Ossoff for his Pelosi ties during a debate. She brings the beat down at 1:06. Karen Handel beats up on Jon Ossoff in Georgia special elections debate.
I guess what I would like to know is exactly who are you going to vote for in this election?
Is that the question?
Really? Wow.
Okay. Well, I think Secretary Handel is referring to my residence, which is a matter that I've addressed transparently throughout this campaign. I grew up in the 6th Congressional District. I was born and raised in Georgia, unlike Secretary Handel, who was born and raised in Washington, D.C. I live across from Emory University to support my fiancée while she finishes medical school. I'm proud to be supporting her career, even if I take a little bit of political heat for it. Secretary Handel, born and raised in Washington, D.C., seems to have spent much of her career determined to return. And it's typical of a career politician, I think, to focus on something like this, rather than the matters of concern to the people of the 6th District. How are we going to attract more jobs and investment to this community? How are we going to make sure that young people who are getting educations for the jobs of the future in our tech sector are able to succeed and apply their talents here at home? These are the questions of concern to the voters of the 6th District.
Actually, it is of concern to the people of the 6th District that you do not live in our community. And while I was born in Washington, D.C., I didn't get to pick where I was born. But the fact is, I've been in Georgia for almost as long as you've even been alive. You might live just 5 minutes outside of the district, but your values are nearly 3,000 miles away in San Francisco. And that's why so many of your contributions have come from liberals of California, New York, and Massachusetts. It's why you're supported by Nancy Pelosi. And folks, it matters. It's no wonder that my opponent didn't want to do the Atlanta Press Club debate. It was going to be aired on CNN, where all folks from around the country, all of his liberal supporters were going to see it, and the fake Jon Ossoff was going to collide with the real Jon Ossoff, who is a Nancy Pelosi-backed liberal.
Wow.
Well, I'd be happy to respond.
That was good.
One of the things that I learned growing up in this community is that folks are concerned with the real issues that affect them: healthcare, education, jobs here in this community. And Secretary Handel has a lot of partisan attacks that she's launching, but she hasn't provided any explanation for how she's going to serve the people of this community. She's a career politician who's dead set on imposing her own views on this community, whether it's gutting protections for people who need protection from price increases if they have pre-existing conditions, whether it's defunding life-saving breast cancer screenings at Planned Parenthood, whether it's endorsing a tax reform proposal before we even know what its impact on deficits and growth would be. What we need is an independent voice, substantively focused on the issues of concern to this community, not another career politician who's run 6 times for 5 different offices.
Ms. Handel, 30 seconds.
Thank you. Well, he got a lot more than that, so I'll take about the same time as he did, if you don't mind. My record is one of results in the private sector and in public service. As chairman of the Fulton County Board of Commissioners, I was able to balance a budget without tax increases. And John, I did that without a Republican majority working with Democrats. As CEO of the North Fulton Chamber of Commerce, I helped create tens of thousands of jobs with the Economic Development Program. My opponent here, he just talks about it. He talks about cutting spending. I've actually done it, reducing the budget in the Secretary of State's office by nearly 20%. What we need is someone who knows how to get the job done, someone with real experience. What we don't need is a career staffer who was a junior staffer for Hank Johnson.
Wow. Yeah, like they helped the Democrats, really? They really did? Lachlan McIntosh, a Democratic strategist related to the Times. Democrats can ignore how very unpopular their leadership is with many voters. One South Carolina Democrat running for Congress in 2018 gets it, claiming he will vote against Pelosi as Speaker if he gets elected. Joe Cunningham, the Democratic Party needs new leadership. Now, if elected, I will not vote for Nancy Pelosi for Speaker. Time to move forward and win again. And what did Pelosi have to say after all this criticism? Well, The Hill tried to ask her on Wednesday. She apparently declined to comment. However, the recent string of Democratic losses speak for themselves. She has been failing as a leader. The mainstream media loves the Democratic establishment, so I doubt they'll ever report on how unpopular their leadership is becoming. That's why we need to share it 20,000 times to get the word out. So true. It's time. They don't have a message. They do not have a message that resonates with the people, and they've been in power for so long. Did absolutely nothing. So how do they expect to win the votes? Let us know what you think in the comments below, and thank you so much for watching.